All right, guys, we're going to look at some things, some extra Pythagorean stuff. So, some things that are kind of, it's almost like a cheat code. So, those of you that like cheat codes, you'll want to pay close attention to this. But we're also going to look at a couple other things like identifying, is this a right triangle or not? And then we're also going to find the Pythagorean cheat codes. Don't tell anybody. Let's stay tuned. So, first off, identifying right triangles. So if I have the three side lengths, 9, 40, and 41, then I can take those three and I can decide, is this a right triangle? Do these three side lengths make up a right triangle or not? So what you'll want to make sure that you note is that the C has to be the longest side. That has to be it. So C has to be 41. A and B doesn't matter. So I'm going to say B is 40 and I'm going to say A is 9. So now I'm going to verify, is 9 squared plus 40 squared equal to 41 squared? What do you think? Get in your head, yes, no? Let's check it out. So I'm going to have 9 squared plus 40 squared. And I want to see, is that really equal to 41 squared? I don't want to say it's equal to. I'm trying to decide, is it? So 9 squared is 49, and 40 squared is 1,600. And then is that going to be equal to 41 squared? So I have 9 squared, which is 81, plus 40 squared, which is 1,600. So is that equal to 41 squared? So this is the moment of truth. 41 squared is 1,681. Guess what? If I take those two and add them together, 1,681 is equal, check, to 1,681. So what is this really going on? Yes, this makes a right triangle. Okay, yes or no? It makes a right triangle because a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If it's a right triangle, those things have to happen. If those things have to happen, if those things happen, then it has to be a right triangle. So remember that bi conditional statement we talked about, like if then, if you switch them and then they're still true and all that stuff. Same thing here. So yes, it's a right triangle. That's what we're looking at there. So you ready for the cheat codes? Pythagorean triples. There's actually a lot of them out there, but these are the most common. 3, 4, 5, or any multiple of that. If I take 30, 40, 50, that's going to be a right triangle, okay? If I multiply those by 3, that's going to be 9, 12, 15. So what I like to look for is the hypotenuse a multiple of 5? And if it is, I try to see if the other two sides are going to be multiples of 3 and 4. And if they are, then guess what? Boom, it's a right triangle. No questions about it. And you can find the missing side length, okay? So what we have here, real quick. So 3, 4, 5 is going to make it. So like if I multiply by 2, that'd be 6, 8, 10. And then multiply by 3, 9, 12, 15. Multiply it by 5, 15, 20, 25. Multiply it by 10, 30, 40, 50. Multiply it by 12, 36, 48, 60. All those going to be right triangles and a missing side length. If you have a right triangle that has two side lengths that are 30 and 40, and you know it's a right triangle, guess what the other side's going to be? 50. Okay, so these are your cheat codes right here. Get it in your head. This one, again, the easiest one to remember because they all go in order: 3, 4, 5. Boom. Get it, got it. Good. So the second cheat code, not as easy to remember. So, but if you can remember them, hey, you can remember lots of things. So 5, 12, 13 is also another Pythagorean triple. So if you multiply it proportionally, so I can't multiply the 5 times 2 and the 12 times 3 and then the 13 times 3 and it be a triple. Okay, that doesn't work. It all has to be in the same line. So if I have, if I multiply each of those by 2, I would have 10, 24, 26. I would have, let's see, multiplying by 3, I would have 15, 36, 39. Multiplying by 5, I would have 25, 60, and 65. I mean, like all of that. Man, this is just, again, cheat code galore. So this one not as easy to remember. 3, 4, 5, really easy to remember. Again, if you had if you have a right triangle and you know the hypotenuse is 65 and you know one the side length says 60, the other one you're looking at is 25. So I know it from this cheat code right here. So what I like to look for again is I like to look for the hypotenuse being a multiple of 5. Then I try to make it to be 3, 4, 5. Again, they all have to be the same multiple. So I can't have 3 multiplied by 2 and 4 multiplied by 2 and then 5 multiplied by 10. That's not going to make a right triangle. Okay. So that's kind of what you're looking at there. All right. So what we're going to determine is we're going to use some of our cheat codes. And we're also going to determine are some of these the right triangles or not. So the first starting out, we know that 8 has to be C, okay, because that's it's the largest number. So even though it looks like it's across from the right angle, we don't know this is a right angle, but we know that 8, which is the hypotenuse, has to be the longest side. So since 8 is a large number, it's hypotenuse. So look here, let's see, we have 5 squared plus 6 squared, and we don't know, but we think it might be equal to 8 squared since it makes a right triangle, maybe. Now, I can't use my cheat code here because I don't have 5, 12, 13, and I don't have a multiple of those, but I also don't have a multiple of 5 as my hypotenuse, so no cheat codes this time. We got to work it out by hand. So I have 25 plus 36. Is that equal to 64? So that's going to, 5 plus 6 is going to give me an 11 anyway. So I know it can't be it because the one's place is going to be 1. This one's 4. So even if I could figure it out, 61, even though it's pretty close, not exactly close. So this is no, it's not a right triangle. Can't put a little square there. Move on. All right, let's look here. So I have, I notice I have a right triangle here. What it looks like across from the right angle is going to be 15. 15 is also the largest number, so therefore I know it has to be C. Is that a multiple of 5? Yes, it is. So I can say I know that this is 5 times 3. I want to see, this is one of my cheat codes, is this a multiple of 3 or 4? Well, it's a multiple of 3. It's 3 times 3, right? And then is this one, since I used 3 here, okay, this one has to be 3, 4. This has to be a multiple of 4, and it is, so that's 4 times 3. See how they're all multiplied by the same number, and I have, 3, 4, 5. Cheat code. Yes, it's a right triangle. I mean, if you get these memorized, be good. So what you'll notice here, across from the right angle is 15. That's a multiple of 5. So let's check. This is going to be 5 times 3. What about 12? Is 12 a multiple of 3 or 4? Well, actually, it's a multiple of both of them. So I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to say 4 times 3 because 9 is a multiple of 3. So that's 3 times 3. So since I have 3, 4, 5, and it's all multiplied by the same number, cheat code, yes. All right, let's look here. So what you'll notice is, I can't really even tell where my right angle is, but I do know that 26 is the largest number. So it has to be C. So I'm going, is it a multiple of 5? It's not a multiple of 5. 10 is, but 26 is not, unfortunately. So, but this is other cheat code. Because this is 13 times 2. Guess what 24 is? 24 is 12 times 2. And 10 is 5 times 2. It's a triple. 5, 12, 13, all multiplied by the same number. Yes, cheat code, 5, 12, 13 triangle, okay? So if you'll remember these cheat codes, I call them cheat codes, then you'll be able to verify this. If you're not sure about this, then you can plug it into the Pythagorean theorem just like I did with example 1. So you could do 10 squared plus 24 squared. Is that equal to 26 squared? If you're not wanting to memorize the cheat codes or whatever you're looking at, then if you're not looking to memorize the cheat codes, then you can just verify it doing like squaring the two side lengths and seeing if it's equal to the hypotenuse squared. But if you're into cheat codes, then memorizing these make your life so much easier. So that's it for, so this is Pythagorean triples, which also known as the cheat codes. And then you also have the part where you're trying to identify, is this a right triangle or not? And so sometimes you can use a cheat code, sometimes you can't, sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't, sometimes I can't either. So, but this is it for just the Pythagorean extras.